What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? Try that again. Welcome to our weekly edition of Tuffy Talk Live, our weekly live stream here. Happy Bradley Chubb days to the opening season if you celebrate. Fellows, we are within the single digits. We are in single digits. So for everyone out there, I am Greg Haas. I have my guys here, Carson Carell and Michael Tracy. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Ready for football.
Ready for football. That seems to be the sentiment through the Twitter sphere, if you will. Carson, welcome back to school. How are you doing over there?
Yeah, I'm doing good. School started yesterday, and so that means football season is right on the way.
First day of school for you. How's that feel for you? Is it registered now that you are just 3 more semesters away after this one from getting a degree from NC State?
Just actually 2.
Oh, I don't know. See, this is why I didn't go to college, so I don't know how it works. I'm used to like quarters in like elementary school and high school. So see, this is why I shouldn't lead these discussions. All right.
Fall, spring.
Okay. See, I'm learning things. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. All right, so 2 semesters away from graduating from NC State. How is that for you, Carson? You pretty jazzed up?
Yeah, I've not really processed it yet. I love my community. I love my ministry group here. So it'll be bittersweet when that time ends. But
yeah,
also excited for what the year will bring.
Yeah, absolutely. Cherish it, my friend. It'll be here and gone pretty quickly. So soak it all up and enjoy that last ride. As the title of our intro said, win total 4-8, 8-4. We're going to debate it. We're going to probably just give you, I think we'll do a quick game by game breakdown like we've done in the past, kind of give us our early thoughts. Obviously, when we get to that game week, we'll break it down much more in depth because we'll know injuries and, situations where we're at in the season, and we'll be able to give it a little better expectation. But we always like to kind of our last week before game week, because technically they have already broken camp and now they are in game week prep. But so we'll break that down. We've had some official start of NC State sports, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the program. And then I wanted to kind of just start off with the somewhat elephant in the room, and if for anyone that's watching along or will watch later on, I'm debuting the new script City of Oaks shirt, and I just kind of wanted to start off and just get both of your guys' thoughts, and Michael, I'll start with you.
Yeah, no, it's great. Most of the time, your alternate uniforms are good. Sometimes they're bad, but a lot of times it's just something different.
What's a bad one? You just said there's sometimes a bad one. Is there one that kind of screams at you?
I mean, the 2021 opener against USF, like the bell tower gray, those weren't great. The helmet was solid. Helmets was great. Yes, the brick helmet, but the actual jerseys were just like
with like the dark gray mixed with the red.
Yeah. That one was it kind of was like a throwback to like the 50s and 60s when you watch some of those old uniforms, like the NFL. They had like vertical stripes on them, and it just didn't kind of work for me. I'm with you. And I thought on that one, as good as the helmet was, it could have been better with a bigger slobbering wolf, maybe an oversized one. But okay, so so you're sounds like at least initially on your opening message there that you like these.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure. These I like them. I mean, they're red and white are classic, and the script. It's really making a comeback, kind of all over the country. A lot of teams are using it. It looks good. Looks good. The helmets it looks great on the helmets.
Yeah, I like how it's repping like the city of Raleigh, because like when we play other schools in North Carolina, like it's not just NC State versus Wake Forest; it's also Raleigh versus Winston-Salem.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. There's those regional pride, if you will. So kind of my thoughts. I do like the script. I think the script, to your point, Michael, I like when we do things a little different. My only complaint, and again, having only seen it in a video, it may not register as well, is seeing the NC State script from the stands, because it didn't. I felt like it could have been a little thicker. Like on the shirt, it looks good, but on the helmet, it looked kind of thin and it wasn't quite bold. Again, just nitpicking. I still think it's pretty solid, and I thought they could have brought down NC State just a little bit lower on the helmet to kind of go with the curve of the helmet a little bit more. But again, those are just little things. But I love the jersey colors, the red and white. I see they brought back the old kind of wings, if you will, to the jersey.
The claw marks.
Yeah, claw. I guess they're kind of claw marks.
The ones on this jersey is more. It's more your classic stripes than necessarily the ones from like the 2019, 2020, 21, and those were kind of like you said, more like claw marks. But these kind of look a little bit cleaner with just the striping.
And then there's a little subtle pattern in the jersey. But yeah, I think it's, you had at least on the replicas, I don't remember from the video, but they had the Tuffy on the collar. So kind of like that. But and then on the back of the helmet, I think it said City of Oaks, I believe, if I remember correctly, on the band at the bottom of the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to Justin Jolie at Meet the Pack, and I was like, how was it feeling like modeling the uniform? And he's like, man, it was cool, like just going out and just people were looking at him as they were doing the videos, and people were like, okay. So I think it's welcome. I do like it in these instances when you're playing another North Carolina team, just to kind of show off your pride, if you will, for Raleigh. But we'll see him in 9 days up close, and it's gonna be exciting to see it under the lights and get it going. But all right, well, we got that out of the way. So pretty. What have you guys? I guess before we'll tie with a bow on it. Like from your guys' perspectives on X and social media, and maybe you, Carson. I don't know if students are talking about it on campus, but have you heard anything other than your own opinions that kind of caught your eye?
About what?
Just in general, like, has anyone talked about it on campus? Like, any of your friend group, or like what's been the reception is kind of where I'm going with this, because I've seen some stuff on Twitter. It's definitely a mixed bag, and I see you, Michael, over there kind of smirking. You've probably seen some stuff too, but
no, it's something else.
Oh, got you.
This is still about the uniforms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the students really like it. It feels, especially with like the text, it feels very throwback. And when you're playing at like a traditional in-state opponent like ECU, it works for that.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah, I think overall it's been positive.
Yeah. People, again, it's some people are just stirring controversy to stir controversy. You're always going to have those troublemakers.
Yeah, jerseys and anything, anything fashion related, which jerseys fall under that, is you're going to have people that like it and people that don't like it.
I will say for the crowd, that kind of like I've seen is everyone's excied that there's minimal black on the that always seems to stir the pot. Yeah. It is like the black on uniforms. Yeah. People lose their stuff when they have black, and I'm just like, gosh dang it. It is a part
black
of
and white. Black and white are like the universal colors in general that every team uses.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, and it is part of the color wheel or color spectrum of NC State, the palette wheel, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a. I mean, I barely know that there's 2 semesters in college. I don't know anything about art.
Pretty much the only team that I don't think I've ever seen wear black is Clemson, but they already have the purple ones as their dark variants.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to dive into. I want to get your guys' numbers each for win total. Give me a ceiling or a floor and a ceiling. Not the Michael Jordan. The ceiling is the floor nonsense or roof or whatever stupid thing he said. So I'm curious to see the number you come up with, and then as we're going through the games, how you're able to match that number, right? Because again, you're gonna have a number on your head, be like 8-4, for instance, and then you get there, you're like, oh, actually, this is a win, this is a loss, this is a loss. Okay, now I'm not at 8-4. So give me your first first number that comes to your mind, and I'll start with you, Carson. What's the floor and what's the ceiling? And then give me your actual number.
I think a floor is probably around 4 and 8, and I think that's like worst case scenario in case like we have a bunch of injuries or whatsoever. Because I think this is a pretty talented team, and obviously for last season, Coach Doran is going to get a lot of the heat for that. But I think people don't realize that we do have a lot of good pieces on the team. I'm excited about CJ Bailey. I think ceiling I think 9-3 or 10-2 is a ceiling for me.
Okay, and now give me your actual prediction.
Wait. No, don't give the actual.
Oh, not yet.
We'll just go through the game.
Well, yeah, we'll go through the game.
Okay, all right, we'll do it that way.
Yeah, because
this is a democracy. I'm okay with that.
we have to take it one game at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't just have it be like, okay, yeah, four losses. Okay, these are going to be the losses.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. All right. So give me your floor and ceiling, Michael.
I'm somewhat similar. I think I probably put the floor at 5 wins, 5 and 7. And then the ceiling at 10-2, right? I think there's only 2 teams on paper where you're kind of going in that are, by all the metrics and talent level and stuff, you're kind of outmatched in Notre Dame and Miami.
Right. Yeah, there'll be games where you're an underdog, but not like an underdog to where you'd be like, okay, well, this is doable still.
Right. You could kind of throw Florida State because, I mean, technically, probably if you look at like recruiting rankings, they're above us. But
we saw what happened with them last year.
Yeah. So I'm not putting them in that category. But yeah, I think Miami and Notre Dame that would be.
Well, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. You got on me. Yeah, I'm with you. I would say the floor is 5 and 7. Again, Carson, I definitely see your 4. But let's not take injuries into consideration. If everything is above board and the team shows up like they should. And then I would probably say, yeah, it's either 9-3, 10-2. Look, I was very bullish last year. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative this year, so I'm going to go 9-3. Again, just to be a little bit different than the two of you. So, yeah, 5 and 7, and then 9-3. But again, this is a team that can hang with people, and so just because we think this doesn't mean that we're rooting against them and actively saying they're going to stink or any of that stuff. But all right, so we'll start with game 1. We're not going to talk a lot about it. Just give me win or loss because we want to save that content for next week for our week game preview. But Carson, I'll start with you. Win or loss here?
Win.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I got it as a win too.
Yep. And then same
not
here.
Going into it at all.
What's that?
Okay.
No, no.
We got to fill a full episode next week.
Yeah, we have to come out and win this game, and I feel very confident. Again, just from some of the time at Meet the Pack, those guys are locked in. Just kind of making some small talk with a few of them, and they're ready to hit a color that's not wearing either red or white. And I firmly believe, and then hearing Coach Doran at some of his press availability talking about how the way it ended last year, he was not happy with it. So for those factors, and they've had 8-9 months to chew on it, and I'm sure there's plenty of bulletin board material there for the team to look at every day as they walk in to get them motivated for this one. All right, game 2, we are an out of conference game with Virginia. We had that weird, absolutely not unprecedented, but it is, I think, a first for state.
Because I think Wake Forest and Chapel Hill played
correct.
a couple.
They played a couple of years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michael, I'll start with you on this one. Virginia coming into town, a very revamped Virginia team, some sleepers. People kind of thinking they're going to have a better year. Win or loss here?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it as a win. I think it's more likely a win than it was probably 2 weeks ago. It sounds like UVA has had some pretty bad injuries in their fall camp. I think I read they have up to 4 starters, 2 on offense, 2 linemen on offense, a linebacker, and a DB that were kind of projected to be starters that I think are out or at least will miss the first couple games. So I think that definitely tips it more in our favor, especially being at home.
Mm-hmm. Noon kick as well.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say with Virginia because of those injuries, but they really did load up in the portal last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to say
they
it was
went
a
all
top
in.
10. It was a top 10 portal class.
Yep.
If not top 10, it was up there. They had a large investment from some donors, kind of.
But we are getting them early in the season where they may not be fully meshed. Yeah, and this is, right. I think, to that point, there's a make or break year for Elliott as well.
Yeah. Elliott's not gone to a bowl game as a head coach.
Yeah. Right. And now he got all this money to get a new transfer portal class in and bring all these guys in. And if he doesn't do it this year, yeah, I think it's kind of setting him up to.
Yep.
It could go great, or yeah.
Yeah, they also have a brand new facility that they're breaking in.
I saw that.
Really, really nice facility. I saw it a couple times last year as it was being put up, going to some games there. All right, so Michael, you have that as a win. Carson, where are you at with this one?
Yeah, Tony Elliott, he's not taking them to a bowl game. Their quarterback is the guy from North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll be able to make a few plays, but it's in Carter Finley. Doran's undefeated against UVA, and so I'm gonna give us a win here. I think we win by like something like by like 10 or 11, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see a scenario where that is. I also have it as a win, so we are all at 2-0 right now, heading into week 3, which is kind of been a house of horrors for NC State in Winston-Salem, though we did win the last time we were there 2 years ago. But we lost to Wake Forest last year in a game that we should have won. So we owed them a little payback there for this game. That is a Thursday night game at 7:30. Plenty of tickets still available for NC State to go out there to fill up the place. So if that's anything, Wake Forest is breaking in a new head coach for the first time in quite some time. Michael, what do you? Actually, I did you first, Michael, last time, so I'll go to you, Carson. What do you have for this game?
Yeah, so Wake Forest has a first-year head coach who is going to be looking for a huge statement win in his first year. Night game in Winston-Salem on a Thursday night, and since it's a Thursday night, it's not as much as Wolfpack Nation is going to be able to travel to that as much as if they were on a Saturday. I expect this to be a dogfight, especially after what happened in the game last year. I expect Doran to have the guys fired up for this game. I think State wins by like a touchdown. I think it's a close game, but I think our roster's a lot more talented.
Oh, wait. That was weird. I clicked on so weird. I was checking out Wake Forest's first 2 games, and so I clicked on them. And then for some reason, it brought up their volleyball schedule, not their football. I was like, they're playing Western Carolina at 2:00. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. So I don't even know who the heck they're playing for their first 2 games. But regardless, again, this is a team that we're catching really early in the season with a new coaching staff. I like those types of opportunities, and those are opportunities that you should 100% take advantage of. So for that reason, I have us winning that game as well. So we all have us going 3-0 in the first 3 weeks of the season.
I didn't go yet.
My bad. My bad. I don't know why I went second, and I just assumed that you had already said it.
No, it's fine. We can rotate it.
Well, Michael, you're saying you're going with the win anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I am gonna go with the win. You it looks like you had the right schedule pulled up. Yeah.
Really?
Kennesaw State first, and then Western Carolina Saturday at 2:00.
Good. Oh, that's just a weird kick time. 2:00.
Yeah.
That's so.
Maybe a CW game.
Probably CW game.
Yeah.
So we saw Western Carolina last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're looking like, but I think State will definitely be more tested. I mean, ECU and UVA, not great teams, but definitely better than Kennesaw State and Western Carolina. So, with Wake, you said it, new coach, a lot of transfers in. I just don't know kind of what to expect from them. I mean, he was good at Washington State, right? As good as you could kind of expect somebody to be there. So I think they'll do fine, but I think he kind of probably has a lot to rebuild there at Wake. It's just, a Thursday night in Winston-Salem, that's always scary. But
night games. Yeah. People tend to get amped up for those. Yeah. People tend to get amped up for night games.
Yeah. If you want to be the best, you got to take out your kryptonite.
All right.
Yeah. Wake Forest is just one of those ankle biters that you just can't shake, man. It just, it just, for whatever reason, it's just a tough matchup. So speaking of tough matchups, I think this is where we'll get into maybe there'll be some differences of opinions here for this game. NC State will be traveling over to Durham, to Wallace Wade, for a Saturday tilt, time TBD. But this is a Duke program who we've lost 4 of the last 5 games to, dating back for, 10 or so years. A team that historically we're still, even with the recent trends, we're still a very dominant head-to-head win total over them.
At least in the ACC era.
Yes, correct. Yeah. There's some old games there, but I just don't count those. I mean, I know they still were played, but State didn't really take football too seriously. But I think you brought it up previously, Carson, that Dave Doran has not beaten Manny Diaz.
He's 0-3 against him.
Right. So there's something there as well. I mean, the law of averages says that we have to win this game at some point.
You'd think.
Again, it's a team in Duke that they just don't get a lot of fan support, no matter how good they are.
Literally at the game 2 years ago.
Yeah,
State fans completely took over that stadium, and we got an interception on the first possession of the game and got a field goal. I mean, you would have thought that place was Carter Finley.
Yep.
Did nothing the rest of
and I'm hoping that kind of resonates again for this year, this go around. I'm going to take State. I think we just you've got to get that monkey off your back. And it's a team historically that just doesn't, they've put a lot of time and money and effort into their program. So it's not going to be easy, but I will take State. Michael, your turn.
Yeah. Like you said, it's law of averages. It's like we feel like we got to beat them at some point. We've lost 3 in a row.
Yep. 3 in a row, 4 in the last 5.
I think just for how the rest of the schedule plays out, I'm gonna take Duke here. I'm gonna give us a loss here. I think it's out of just looking at the first 4 games, I think it's definitely the most likely.
Yeah.
On the road. So yeah, but I think this is another. I think the others are a little better, but I think this is our first true kind of 50-50 game in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of all our first 4 games, I think this is our toughest. But something to consider, both State and Duke play road games the week before this. State plays it on a Thursday night in North Carolina.
True.
Duke goes to Louisiana and plays Tulane on a Saturday. So State has less travel time, and they have more time to prep for this game.
That's a good point.
It's fair.
That's an emotional game too. That's Darian Mensah, their Duke's new QB, was at Tulane last year.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that could work in our favor.
I mean, Doran is 0-3 against Manny Diaz. and he's lost to this team 2 straight years, and both games were by multiple possessions.
Yeah, we weren't even competitive.
They beat us on senior day last year, and Doran's got to be scratching his head being like, this team isn't Clemson. This isn't Florida State. It's Duke.
Yep.
And they have the Tulane transfer QB that they bought for a lot of money. And I don't think he's worth that much money. I think he's talented, but he's not worth that much. Yeah. But I think when you consider, I think Doran's going to have this team fired up. I think Doran wants to beat Duke. If there is any opportunity, if there is a really good opportunity to have a statement win early in the season, it is this one.
Yeah.
And so I think State wins by like 2 or 3 points off a field goal. Yeah. I think something like that.
Yeah, and for Duke, real quick, Michael, before actually you did you?
Yeah.
I can't even keep up. Yeah, you said loss. I will say, and again, we'll break these down more come game weeks. Duke gave us fits defensively, and CJ really struggled in that game last year. And so for me,
well, it was when he got to the red zone. It was when the field got shorter.
Sure.
Yeah. That's true. We did move the ball fairly well. But where I was going to go with this is a game for me, just because it is a step up in competition, and Duke will be good defensively because that's Manny Diaz's MO. For me, this is a game where we'll see how much CJ has really progressed from freshman year to sophomore year. So that's that. Virginia Tech comes to Carter Finley on September 27th. I'll take this one first. I think this is going to be a win for State. This is definitely. It's amazing to see how much Virginia Tech has fallen in the last 10 to 15 years. A team that was when it was under Frank Beamer, like they were just really solid programs. Brent Pry is probably on the chopping block this year. I think this is year 4 or 5 for him.
This is year 4.
4, yeah.
4, yeah.
Because my freshman year was that
the comeback game, NJ Morris. Yeah. So we won the last couple of games against them. We went to Blacksburg like 2 years ago, and they had a nice comeback in the fourth quarter, but we were able to hold on. Really, the score was closer than the game actually was. I just don't think Virginia Tech has a lot. They've really struggled. Is Drones going to be the guy that he was 2 years ago when he was at Baylor? Right. He really struggled last year. Or no, wait, was it? This is his 3rd year at Tech, right?
Yeah.
So it was like freshman year. So I think State wins this game. Carson, you go next.
Yeah, I think this is. I don't know, because Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech are like those 2 traditional like sleeping giants in the ACC. And I am picking us to win, and most of the reason for that is because it's in Carter Finley. If this were in Lane Stadium, I would be a lot more worried.
Agreed. But, I would definitely take Tech, and if that were the case.
But it's in Carter Finley, so I'm gonna give us the win here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go win as well. Kind of a lot of what you guys mentioned. VT's got a tough start to the season. I think they've got South Carolina in Charlotte. I think that one's in Charlotte.
And I think it's Atlanta.
Or Atlanta, yeah. And then Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's no joke.
They lost to them last year. So if they start 0-2, wheels could come off pretty quick. And then there's the other part of me that it's like, Drones is legit. He got hurt towards the end of last season, so that kind of threw him off. Yeah. It almost feels like, I think a lot of people kind of were saying dark horse last year. It's like, is that maybe a year early? But I don't know. I think they lost too many guys. Being at home, I'm going to give us the edge there.
Yeah. All right, Campbell. I don't think we're going to need to spend a lot of time on this one. I think I'm going to go on a limb and say we're all going to take State in that one. Okay, W.
Okay. Campbell Campbell went 3-9 last year as an FCS team. If we lose this game, fire everyone.
They had a competitive first half against UNC. I think they were winning that game at one point, and then UNC obviously
they blew the brakes off them in the second half.
Yeah, but it was like, is UNC really about to lose to Campbell after losing to
was
James
it
Madison?
Campbell or North Carolina Central? I think it was North Carolina Central.
I don't know. It was one of them.
It was not a good team. Let's put it that way.
It was an FCS team from North Carolina who they should not be close to.
All right, so let's take a pause here. We're at 5-0, not quite the halfway mark. The next one's probably
I'm at 6-0.
The biggest one. Yeah, I'm also at 6-0.
I've got 5-1.
You got 5-1, and I feel like that's where a lot of state fans are. Actually, as crazy as that is to say. And here's the thing, we haven't talked about the Vegas win loss total.
Right. Yeah.
Like if we're at 5-0. They only have us at 6.5, depending on who you subscribe to.
Right.
And again, I don't know if we're being homers at this point, but it just feels like I think this is real. 5-0, 4-1. That's really feasible.
I think your first 6 games, like, I think if you're anything worse than 4-2 through those first 6 games, that's not a good sign at all. I think at minimum we need to be 4-2 going into the back half of the schedule,
because it's going to get hard.
That would be probably losing to Duke and losing to one of like VT, Wake, UVA.
Yeah, I don't see us
like that's not great.
I don't see us, honestly. I don't really see us losing to Virginia, Wake, or East Carolina. The two would probably be Virginia Tech and Duke. Honestly, if I'm going to go the 4-2 route, we
don't leave the state of North Carolina for the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is real nice.
Yeah, it does sound like 6 games, everybody's got them undefeated, but I think the schedule sets up well for that as well as it could, really.
Yeah, and again, depending on health, right? That's a lot of momentum going up to South Bend. Now, I'm not saying. I'll let you go, Carson, first. So State will travel up to South Bend on October 11th. That is a 3:30 game. NBC did not think much of us. They're actually putting that game on Peacock. It's not even on real NBC.
I don't blame them.
We can talk about that a little bit. I think like it's also they don't put their worst matchups on Peacock either, because they want people to go to Peacock, sign up for Peacock. Like last year, Louisville played Notre Dame on Peacock, and that was a ranked matchup. Which, if we're talking 5-0 or 5-1, 6-0, like that'll be another ranked matchup this year between us and Notre Dame. So
definitely if we're 6-0.
Yeah. If we're 6-0, we're in good shape. Notre Dame should be about 4-1, 5-0 going in. They do have Miami, which will be a tough game. Maybe Texas A&M. So they do have a couple of tough games.
A&M's going to play really good. A&M's got a really good defense.
They do, and that was a fairly close game last year for most of it. So there's a good chance there that they'll be, somewhere pretty much around our record, maybe better. But Michael, go ahead and give me your quick thoughts with the Pack heading up to South Bend. I will say really quickly before you go there, we are getting them on October 11th, so hopefully the weather isn't a factor like it was last time we were there. It was pretty gross. We had all the seasons in once, and I mean the seasons of winter. We had rain, sleet, and snow that day. So kind of give me your thoughts there.
Yeah, I mean I can't pick us going to Notre Dame and winning. I don't see that really, unless maybe another hurricane comes through up there.
Or we pull up that
or we block 3 punts.
Yeah. Or we pull up that Northern Illinois game tape from last year.
Right.
Yeah.
So they did. True. So they were susceptible to a stinker.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Notre Dame will be as good as last year. They lost a lot of guys. Their QB, Jeremiah Love. I mean, he's back though. He'll still probably run all over us. But
yeah, they just named him the starter today. I think it was, or the other day maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. quarterback. What's his name? CJ Carr, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was a former like a top 50 recruit. So, but yeah, I just can't pick us to go up there and win. But like we said, if you're 6-0, I also think looking back on that, like we've had some pretty good teams lose to Wake and Duke in the past. So if we truly are 6-0, winning on the road back to back against Wake and Duke, like I think we'll have a pretty good team. So we'll see. But for now, I got this loss.
Yeah, and I, as we do this each week, I kind of want to come back to this conversation, and I'll jot all these down and see how we we're as we're going through the season. But Carson, kind of give me your thoughts quickly, win or loss here for the Pack.
Yeah, I think this is going to be that game where if the defense, particularly the defensive line, doesn't have it figured out, I mean, it's not going to be a fun day because if the defensive line cannot get pressure, Jeremiah Love is going to have a field day.
Yeah.
Agreed. I also have. I'll be up there in South Bend. I don't. Obviously, I want to go home with a win, but I think it's a really big test for the Pack on this one, and I have us as a loss. Again, I still think we can. It's football; anything can happen, but that's a big hill to climb. So at this point, I have us 5-1. Michael, you have us at 4-2.
6-1.
Oh,
you're at 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. Yeah, 6-5. Well, he's at 5-2. I'm at 6-1, and then I think Carson, you're at 6-1.
Yeah, I'm at 6-1 as well.
Yeah,
dude, this is again, public math is not my friend. All right, so we will we'll have a bye week, so we won't lose that week. But we will go back on the road the following week up to Pitt, October 25th. Carson, give me your quick thoughts and win or loss.
Okay, so Pitt has been in the ACC since 2013. They've never come to Carter Finley.
Really?
True story.
Yeah, it's really weird.
This is our third time going up there.
This is our third time going up there. Doran has a good record against Narduzzi.
Yeah, I think he's 3-0.
Yeah. I think this is Pitt. They started out really strong last year, and then they ended with 6 straight losses.
Yeah.
They do return their QB, but we do have our bye week beforehand. I think this is the game where CJ Bailey shows his improvement. Like he shows that he's now he shows why you need an experienced quarterback on your team. And so I think I like how CJ matches up with this defense. I'm going to give us the win.
Yeah, Pitt will go to Syracuse the week before, up to the Carrier Dome, so they'll renew their old Big East ties in that game. So that might not be an easy one for them. This for me, we always talk about losing a game twice. Thankfully, we have a bye week to break that up and to get right and get healthy from anything that may come from the Notre Dame game from a negative aspect. Pitt does not usually get good crowds for they just they're one of those play an NFL stadium on campus.
Yeah. It's not as bad as Miami, but
it's not quite as bad. That is correct, but
it's not a campus or school dedicated stadium.
Right. And unless they're playing like West Virginia, they don't really fill the place up. So it's not that daunting of a task. Road game. I like State. I think they can go get it done. So I'll give us a W. What say you there, Michael?
Yeah, this one kind of going back and forth on this one. I think I'm going to settle on a loss. I'll give us a loss here. I think Pitt. I like their quarterback Holstein he's really, really good. I mean, like Carson was saying, they started out 7-0, and then he got hurt and they lost 6 to end the season. But I think they really showed they were a better team than kind of their record reflected last year, and they're bringing, those key guys back. They got Holstein back, their running back Desmond Reed. He's one of the best in the ACC. Kind of all-purpose guys. And then I think they have a really good linebacker too. I'm forgetting his name though, but another kind of all-conference guy linebacker.
So you're saying kind of a quietly sneaky.
I think so. Because initial schedule came out, and I was thinking a win, but like you said, Doran's he's been successful against Narduzzi. So I definitely wouldn't be shocked. I think this will be a close game, but I'll go Pitt here.
Yeah, as we get into these later games, there's just so many variables, so it's really hard to, yeah. I already said a win, but State and Pitt are kind of in the same groupings and lumpings of how they're going to finish in the ACC. So kind of to the point of both of you, this could be like a pick 'em game where it could go either way. Yeah. So it's just a matter of just a gut feeling on this one. All right, November 1st, after
another bye week. Or no. We got a bye week after this one.
Correct. So after 3 weeks, because the annual fair road trip and bye and all of that, so this is when we have to go on the road, and usually where our bye will fit in. We're back in the friendly confines of Carter Finley. This will be NC State's homecoming game on November 1st, bringing in Georgia Tech. This game will also mark, unless something crazy happens, my 50th game in a row, home and away.
Nice.
So yeah, so pretty excited about this one. Have some folks coming in all over the place to have a good time and celebrate. So I hope we can get a win. But this is a team, Georgia Tech, that's been being picked by quite a few pundits that could be a dark horse to show up in Charlotte. They return a lot, especially offensively. Key has got them going in the right direction. This was kind of a breakout game a little bit for CJ Bailey last year.
Particularly running the ball.
Yes, exactly right. Specifically, and again, another game that we should have won.
Almost won on the last second field goal.
Yeah. After everything, it was just a really weird game. It was a Thursday night game.
I was watching that one on TV. That field goal,
I thought it was good.
It looked good, but it was like 60 yards, so it just was short. But it was dead on. I thought he made it, but
it was accurate. It just didn't have the power.
Yeah. And they brought. I think they brought Colin Smith in for that.
They did bring in bigger leg.
Yeah. And he was just like a couple yards short, but it was going.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought in the stadium it was good. We're all looking at the trailer. We thought we were celebrating, and then you saw the referees go. I'm like, oh, what?
It was just short.
Yeah. So this is another revenge game from last year. We have a few of those, obviously, with Wake and Duke and now Georgia Tech. I'm going to say this is a loss for NC State. I offensively, Georgia Tech's got a lot of firepower, and I'm not sure how we're going to do against it. I thought we struggled a lot last year against the offense. It was a really high-scoring game. I think both teams got into the 30s, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see another potential shootout. But, we do have the home factor. But I had a number in mind, and so I'm running out of places where I could give us a loss.
I know.
So I think this is a loss for State. Carson, what do you got?
Yeah. Obviously, Georgia Tech, they barely squeaked out a win against us last year, but that was against Tony Gibson, a defensive coordinator who had been in the system for so long, and now we have a new defensive coordinator who now has to juggle with Georgia Tech's highly powered offense. And if you look at Georgia Tech, how they ended the season, they were just one stupid play away from beating Georgia. I mean, they missed a 23-yard field goal. Haynes King threw a late interception. I mean, they were so close to ruining Georgia's CFP chances. And so here's what I think about this game. I think CJ Bailey is going to play good against the Georgia Tech defense, because the Tech's strength really is their offense. I don't have much faith in their defense, so I think CJ is going to play well. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game, but I don't know how our defense is going to play against Haynes King and their offense.
Right. That's the part that worries me as well.
I think the Yellow Jackets come in the Carter Finley and offensively punch us in the mouth early, and I don't think we are able to recover, and so I have this as a loss.
Okay. All right, Michael, your only hope for a win here. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. I think, we played them close last year at Georgia Tech for all we talked about it. Coming back home, and on my schedule, I would have us at back-to-back losses with Notre Dame and Pitt. So I'm gonna give us a win at home.
Yeah. Chris Brevard here goes, Georgia Tech was a high-scoring game. Yep, but we gave up 2 pick 6 TDs. Yeah, that was
to KC. Oh God, yeah.
That's a fair point.
Right, that game shouldn't have even been close. Like we killed ourselves. We should have won that one by 2 scores.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And so now we definitely know that gadget play to Casey won't happen this year.
Yeah,
we have
the whole point of that play where the wide receiver comes in front and the quarterback does a little toss to him is because if he drops it, it's an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. But of course, it gets batted up in the air and it's a pick 6.
Yep. Yeah, that was a tough one. That definitely should have been a ball that KC caught, or at the very least, to your point, drop it, not bat it up in the air.
Yeah.
So this is where we have a bye week right after this, as you kind of alluded to earlier, Carson, and then we go down to Miami Gardens, go down to Hard Rock Stadium, and probably on, like you said earlier, Michael, as well, on paper, this is probably matchup number 2 on paper. That's probably the toughest. I'll let you, Michael, go first since I've made you go last the last couple of ones. So I'll get you in here first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go loss to just talent on paper. I think, obviously Miami on paper is way more talented than us. Mario Cristobal still kind of up in the air about
he's still coaching,
game
right?
day coaching, yeah. I mean, they went 10-2 last year, but that was with the number 1 overall pick.
And they got bailed out a couple of times.
Right. They got bailed out in that Virginia Tech game.
Yeah.
Their defense wasn't good last year. It was pretty much the Cam Ward show. They had the number 1 offense in the country, so they just outscored everybody. So I'm not.
Carson Beck may or may not be playing by now because he's got some injury histories.
Right.
Again, this is very late in the season, so anything's possible.
Yeah, but I think on paper right now, I think I'll have to go loss on the road. But yeah, again, that wouldn't shock me if we end up having a good team this year and Miami kind of falters without Cam Ward. Yeah, I can definitely see us going there and winning that game. But right now I've got this loss.
Yeah, Carson, what are you feeling over there?
I think this is a loss, but I don't think it's a blowout. I don't have that much faith in Carson Beck, but Miami definitely has a lot of other parts of firepower on the offensive side, and so I think this is going to be a game where we're going to have to outscore them to win. And
you have to do that most of the time, but yeah.
I
know what you meant, Carson. I'm just giving you credit.
If this were in Carter Finley, I would like our chances a lot more.
Sure.
But I on the road against this firepower, I just don't see it happening. I could see the game being very close, though. I think we match up with Miami a lot better than we do with Notre Dame.
Yeah,
I would agree with that statement.
I think the last couple games we played Miami have been close games.
Well, we should have beat them a couple years ago when we were down there. We had that stupid penalty where the guy gets his helmet ripped off and he recovers a fumble, and then we get penalized for it.
Yeah.
And then we dropped a
Multiple
pass on the fourth. Yeah, we dropped some stuff. And
Devin Carter.
Yes, Devin Carter dropped a couple.
And the year before that was Derek King.
We had a COVID year game.
Yeah, in Carter Finley, that was like a 40. I think that was like a 40 game in the 40s, and Derek King kind of ran all over us at the end of that one.
Yeah. So to the point, we have played them.
Yeah.
Close, not win wise. Again, I had my number of a record in mind, and I think this is a game where that will come into a factor. So I had this is a loss for State as of right now. Again, this is the third from the last game of the season. If Miami somehow stubs their toe, they could have little to no people there at this game. But if it's a really good team, they could have it sold out. You don't know about those types of things, and it's always nice to go down to Miami in November, and not playing in South Bend in November. So I like those things as well. But I do have us as of right now with a loss. So let's pause here. I have us now at so that's 10 games. I have us at 7-3.
I have us 7-3 as well.
You have a 7-3, and then Michael, where do you at?
6-4.
6-4. Woo! We got to come up big for you in these last two games, and we're maybe looking at 500 on Michael's board. Though I have a feeling I know how he's going to go in the last game of the season. So we're getting now. I didn't talk about the other games, but Florida State's Military Appreciation. That's a Friday night game. Friday night under the lights. Which, if you ask Coach Dorn, he hates these Friday night games. He'd rather be out recruiting. I remember him saying these things previously. But so Friday, Florida State. This team, Florida State. You know what, Carson? I'll let you start since I've kind of talked the first couple ones lately. Give me quick. Where you at? Florida State game 11.
I don't have much to say with this game other than, let's look at the history with guys like Russell Wilson, Mike Glennon, a few years ago. Night games in Carter Finley. Do those go really well for Florida State?
No, we had one a couple of years ago when we didn't get like a touchdown in the game, like in the second half. When I think that was
Jack Chambers didn't complete a pass.
Chambers game.
Yep. He didn't throw a pass.
That was what it was. That was the pass. That's what it was. Yeah, not throw a touchdown. It was completing a pass. And that was a night game as well. So to that point, right? So I think I know where you're going, Carson.
The COVID year was a night game.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We haven't had a day game with them. I think like
2014, 2018 was a 3:31.
Well, I remember we had a game where was it Jacoby, or Steph Lewis that did the flip into the end zone.
Yeah, Steph Lewis, I think it was.
I think that was Lewis. I think that was like 2019, 2020, something like that.
Yeah.
That's like the last day game I can remember in the series. But anyway, so what do you got, Carson?
I have us winning.
Winning. Okay.
I don't have much faith in Norval. He's won like 3 games there without Jordan Travis.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
I have this as a win.
Yeah.
Michael?
Yeah, I've got to win too. I mean, I don't know how they're Florida State with all the money they have. They're going in with another quite big, huge question mark at QB in Castellanos from BC. I think that's even bigger question mark than DJ was going into last year.
I agree.
At least DJ played really good when he was at Oregon State.
Right. So
but that was like the Pac-10, and they didn't really play anyone that year in the Pac-10.
Right.
But
the Pac-12 was actually really good that year.
Yeah, but they didn't play anyone. I think Oregon State's schedule was pretty soft. I think the toughest game they had was Oregon that year.
Or Washington, probably.
Yeah, maybe Washington.
Either way, he still had a better year the year prior than Castellanos did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play the last 6 games. He sat
right. He got benched
at BC. Yeah. So you're getting benched at BC. I understand it was a new coach, so he didn't fit Bill O'Brien's system. yada
But
yada.
it's not like you're getting benched at Florida or Texas.
Right.
Right.
It's not Arch Manning getting benched, right?
If you're gonna be the quarterback at Florida State, like you should absolutely be the best QB at Boston College. Like,
Yeah.
so I just don't see that going well. I think he's good enough. Like, I don't know. They were 13-0 2 years ago, then 2-10 last year. Like, I think they'll probably end up somewhere in the middle, like 7-8
500.
wins.
Yeah.
And be fine. But
I think this will be a close game.
Yeah.
Probably something like 24-20, something like that. Florida State, if you will give them credit for one thing, their defense will show up and play physical.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't last year.
They did. They quit. I mean, they absolutely quit.
But yeah, I think back to what Carson said. I mean, Friday night in Carter Finley, like
it's gonna have a little extra juice.
Norvell, not great. I think he's 0-3 against Dave.
Well, and historically, since the FSU has joined the ACC, State's like one of the top 2 or 3 teams against FSU record wise. I mean, we've held our own, especially
us and Clemson probably.
Yeah. We in fact, I think probably over the last 7 or 8 meetings, we definitely have a winning record against FSU.
For sure.
So again, it's not that big bad FSU stigma that, it's not your mom or dad's 1990s FSU squads or early 2000s. It's just not. So I don't think anyone's intimidated by them, to say the least. And for that reason, I have a win as well on a Friday night. All right. So going into the finale, I have us at 8-3.
Mm-hmm.
You have them, Michael, at what?
I got 7-4.
7-4, and then Carson, I think you're 8-3 as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna ask you, but I already think I don't care how bad NC State is. I will never pick Carolina to beat us. Okay, but we'll play the game along. We'll play this out. Carson, I'll let you go first. Tell me who you got in this one.
Yeah,
hold on.
So
hold on. Who do you have this one? And you can't say NC State.
I can't say the words NC State.
That's right. No, I'm just kidding. All
right. So for the finale, we put for the past 6 years, this team has had a championship winning grandpa head coach. And they fired him. And then who did they hire? The NFL version of that.
Yeah.
It's like that Spider-Man meme, right? They're kind of pointing at each other.
Yeah.
You replace a 73-year-old coach that's not on AARP with a 73-year-old coach not on AARP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people my age, all across North Carolina, who are not Chapel Hill fans, are still have beef with Belichick because he beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
True story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing you're going to go with NC State.
So Belichick has a losing record without Tom Brady, and he plays Duke right beforehand. A
little bell game.
Who beat Carolina last year. And so the whole offseason, now that they've actually lost to Duke, who do you think their main concern is beating, Duke or State?
Well,
because they're used to losing the State.
Who are you asking? That's the more important question. Are you asking the fans? Right. Or are you asking the coaching staff?
I don't know. With the way that
it might still be the same answer.
With the way that Belichick is talking, I think he's more focused on beating Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he said beat Duke in his press conference, right?
Yeah.
His opening press conference.
Right. Wasn't that his first words allegedly?
Yeah. That's some fake story.
Carter Finley's going to be fired up for this.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave's going to have those guys coming out fired up. The guys are going to come out, play physical, play hard, play tough.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I don't see the guys being really fired up for this game is if we have a losing record and Orange just completely lost the locker room.
And we're on Will Wilson as our quarterback.
Yeah.
Right, you're down the third string.
Other than that, the guys are going to come
No, that's
out.
worked for us in the past, though.
Yeah.
I can see
the guys are going to come out fired up.
Yeah.
It's in Carter Finley. The fans are going to be screaming their faces off.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular team has a lot of transfers.
70, I think, right?
Yeah, we don't know how they're going to mesh together.
No.
And
who their quarterback's going to be by this point.
Yeah. And if you look at the national, if you look at all the national talks, all the outside stuff is saying that their rival is Duke, and so maybe that may put the mentality in the players that our big rival is Duke. We need to put the effort into beating Duke, not State.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think a lot of those players might be in for a rude awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to give us. I think it'll be a close game because
typically is.
Yeah. I think it'll be sort of like in the high 20s, low 30s kind of deal. But I'm gonna give us the win.
Okay. I can get down with that, Michael.
Yeah. No, Greg, I'm like you. I don't think I'll ever in doing these pick a loss unless UNC somehow turns into like the next Clemson and they're winning national titles. I may start to give them some respect.
At that point I will say State will lose. I will never say Carolina wins.
There you go. But yeah, this year last game of the season, it's so far away, so many unknowns with how that circus plays out in Chapel Hill. I'm gonna go State.
Yeah,
easy.
Well, yeah, that's so State will be going for what, 5 in a row in the series. I think what have we won?
21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't lost them since I broke my leg. So that's my easy way to track it.
4 in a row going for 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what are we at? 9 of 11, I think, something like that. It's very dominant.
7 of the last 9, I think.
7 of the last 9, and I think 9 of 11 or something. I can't remember. Again, public math. I don't like doing it. I think it's going to be more of the same. I know how much this means. Like, to your point, Carson, I feel like this means more to Dave Dorn than it does Bill Belichick, right? Like, he understands.
Yeah, because like
college rivalries are different than NFL rivalries.
Yeah, like Belichick. Belichick, I think he always won his rivalry games. He won a lot of his rivalry games in.
But the AFC sucked. AFC East.
I know that's what I was going to say. He won a lot of his rivalry games on the Patriots, but those teams were awful, and it was a lot of like. In the NFL, it's a lot more just do your job kind of thing. Whereas college, like if you come in and play with pride and passion, you could very well beat your rival.
Absolutely. All right, so we all have W's for the wrap up. So I had us at 9-3. I honestly was thinking 8-4. I made it into 9-3.
It's Athens.
Yeah, that's just the homer in me. I do legitimately think that this team could finish 8-4. Again, this is a year where they're not talking about NC State, and everyone knows that we seem to do better when we kind of fly under the radar, don't get the respect. If nothing proved that more, it was when Dave Doran went to the podium in Charlotte, and there was like 12 people in the room.
Yeah, compared to Belichick.
So there's low expectation. We in the government love to do that. We like to set low expectation and exceed those.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, you just picked us to be 9-3, so
yeah, I picked us 9-3.
Very low.
Yeah, I know, right? That's my point. Like I love you. You guys know how much I love NC State, and I say every year, I'm not going to be bullish. I'm not going to be a homer. I'm not going to do it. And they still talk me into 9-3. But I do legitimately think that can happen because, like, how many games did we lose that were so close last year? And you win 2 or 3, you're 8-4 instead of 6-6, or you could have gotten maybe 9-3. The margins are thin,
and that's not being significantly better. Like
in Wake, Georgia Tech, and Syracuse, if one play goes your way, that's a win.
Yeah. There's potentially 4 wins right there.
Yeah.
And again, to your point, Michael, like that wasn't a talent thing. That's just one
Right.
play in a game. That's the do your job thing that Carson's kind of referring to. If you do your job, one more play in those games, you're 8-4 at worst, but you could be like 9-3. Or 10 you could have gotten to 10 last year with those. You said there was 4 that were like one possession, one play. And that's the difference between being average / mediocre / being really good. It's not a talent level. It's just an execution level.
Right. And you need a little bit of luck.
You do need luck. That's a thing, right? You need health luck. You need schedule luck. Weather luck. Maybe sometimes like there's all kinds of luck involved in these things. But Michael, you ended up at what?
8-4.
And was that your thought going into this?
Yeah. I kind of mapped it out.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the bowl win, whatever it is. I don't care what bowl we're winning this year.
We're gonna break the streak finally.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. And Carson, where did you end up at? 9-3 as well?
9-3, yeah.
So here's this question. And again, you kind of need some different things playing in. Of the 3, everyone had those 3 losses as conference losses. Correct? No, actually Notre Dame was not a conference. So we had 2 losses in the conference.
Yeah.
Is that what everyone had?
I had 3 losses.
You had 3 losses.
Yeah, you had Pitt.
Yeah. And then you had 2 losses, Carson?
Yep.
Yeah. So 2 losses in the conference. Does that get you to Charlotte?
With the amount of teams that are in the ACC right now, I don't see it. I think 7 wins guaranteed.
Probably not. You need some tiebreakers, and if we're saying the losses are to who'd you guys have? Miami and Georgia Tech
and Miami. Yeah.
They're going to be right there.
Probably going to be up there, so they'll have the tiebreaker over you. So probably
right.
That scenario.
Yeah,
you would need to like beat Miami, beat Georgia Tech, and have one of the 2 losses beat a like Wake and UNC or whatever.
Yeah,
somebody that's not going to also be competing for the type because that tiebreaker then doesn't matter as long as you have a tiebreaker over the good teams.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree with all of that. Okay. So we kind of broke down. I guess the last thing we want to talk about, Carson, you probably can speak to this better than I can. I just kind of read the highlights and read the notes. Women's soccer is gotten started. They've played their first 2 games, losing the first game in Raleigh 3-0 or 3-0, as they like to say in soccer, to JMU, and then going on the road to Greenville and tying ECU 1-1. Any kind of, I know you follow soccer a little bit closer than the rest of us, but any initial thoughts from the first 2 matches?
Yeah. I offense needs to get better. I like how our defense is playing for the most part, but James Madison is a really good soccer program. I mean, last year I think they won their conference. I mean, they only lost like 4 games total. So I wasn't surprised when JMU was able to beat us.
Maybe more at the score though. Maybe more the score than the loss.
Yeah. 3-0. That shocked me a little bit. I thought it would be more like 2-1.
Sure.
But I was not surprised. First game officially for our new head coach, and so I wasn't surprised about that. ECU, our new head coach is from ECU. It's a bit of a homecoming, bit of a weird situation because a lot of the players I think are still there, and so they know his system. So they tied us. But I mean, 2 games and only 1 goal. A little bit disappointing. You would hope they get better. And I think they'll get better. I think this team does have a lot of good pieces in it. I think the culture is building, but you do need some baby steps. But we'll see what happens later on in the season. They have another tough game coming up. Thursday night they go to Michigan State. Michigan State's number 20 right now. And then Sunday they go to Davidson.
Got it. And then correct me if I'm wrong, men's soccer is a spring sport, correct?
No, men's soccer happens at the same time.
Does it? Okay. So I got to get more involved in soccer. It's just never been a sport that I've been a fan of. It's not even an NC State thing.
It's completely different from high school, because in high school,
high school is spring.
At least in North Carolina, men's is in the fall, and women's is in the spring. And then for tennis, women's is in the fall and men's is in the spring.
Interesting.
So you have those sports all year round in high school, but in college it's only during one season. Gotcha. But yeah, I think men's soccer kicks off on Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday. I'll be there for the first half.
Okay.
And who do they play? They play Queens. And I have a friend who goes to Queens. Queens is very new to D1. So I don't know much about their soccer program. But I mean, I think we're ranked like 14th right now.
I think that was the preseason ranking.
Yeah, came in real well.
Pretty good team.
Yeah. I think we can expect good things from our men's team this year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a nice second season under the new coach. All right.
On September 5th, they play Carolina, and Carolina's unranked. They have this whole marketing thing read out, beat the attendance record.
When is that game?
September 5th. It's on a Friday.
Friday. Ooh. Well, what time is that game?
It's the day before Virginia.
Yeah. What time is the game? Do we know?
7:30 p.m.
Yeah, I can't make that. All right. Well, I'll get there eventually. The only really interesting thing that I kind of saw, we can kind of just spend a moment on, is little Pac-9. They dropped their roster yesterday on GoPack.com. And the one thing that kind of caught my eye, what was kind of two, we actually still have a roster spot available. So maybe they'll be, because there's one more transfer window. So maybe something comes up after fall ball. So maybe they're just keeping it open there. And Braden Fraseman is back on the roster, and there was maybe some loose talk, if you will, that he might have been signing an undrafted free agent contract with someone, and that didn't come to fruition, and he's back with the Pack now. So just kind of some thoughts there. And then the other baseball related news, I don't know if anyone saw that the playoffs, or the NCAA baseball tournament, if you will now be ranked 1 through 32 instead of 1 through 16.
That's very interesting.
But it's still weird. It's still weird because it's not a natural.
You could be a nationally ranked team and not be in the AP top 25.
Yes.
Or
and
coaches poll, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah, whatever they use.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They take the D1 baseball rankings as the official NCAA baseball ranking. Yeah. But yeah, all the other thing too, it's like, yes, they are. It's not a snake, so that's one thing, like they are in basketball. And then just because you're aligned, and again, public math is still a problem for me. It's not lined up to where like these numbers would naturally be against each other. They still are going to take geographic pieces of that under consideration. So we'll see how that plays out. I think it's just a way for the NCAA to kind of tinker with things. And you see these with gymnastics and soccer and volleyball and track and golf. Like they try to minimize the travel and not have these guys having to spend a lot of money on travel fees. So we'll see how that plays out. And then we should be getting some fall ball news here pretty quickly. As far as the Pac-9 goes, about fall practice is getting started, and then they should have some exhibition games lined up here. And then the other bit of news, NC State women's and men's basketball set up a doubleheader.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, right? They'll be playing in Greensboro. The women will be playing against Maryland, I believe. I saw. Yeah. And then the men will be playing against South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that's the Sunday after we play Pitt, because I just
and the women get to play in Greensboro before they play Tennessee.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
get
true.
a little practice in.
Yeah. So that game, when's the pit game? The 25th. So those exhibitions will be on the 26th, and I think tickets go on sale Thursday, if I remember correctly.
I think sometime this week. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Thursday. But other than that, that's pretty much it going on. We're just kind of
volleyball starts pretty soon as well.
Yeah. Volleyball starts the day after the ECU game. They're playing in a local tournament. I think they're playing like Army or Kent State or someone like that. I can't remember exactly.
They always start with like those 14 tournaments.
Yeah. So that'll be happening pretty soon. So yeah, we're gonna get into the full swing of things here real quick with state athletics.
No ACC matchups, but we've got week 0 college football this weekend.
Do have we have that
the big one.
KSU and Iowa State. Is that the one you're talking about?
That is a big one. Yeah,
they're calling it Farmageddon over in Ireland.
Yeah, I know Carolina's playing in that. I think in the next year or so. I think it's Carolina.
I think they play TCU. I think they play TCU.
Yeah, next year, 2026.
Yeah. I would really love to get that game. I think that would just be so cool to go to Europe. I know it's probably not a big thing for the players, and it's probably a pain, but from a fan perspective, that would be pretty legit. I definitely would travel for that. All right. Any alibis, any parting shots that anything that we may have missed? This time next week I will be in Raleigh getting ready. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And then next Monday, when we'll be back to our normal schedule, we will be three days away from the first game of the season, and we'll do our breakdowns and give actual. We kind of gave our predictions tonight, but we'll do a good breakdown. Yeah. But anything else? Did we miss anything?
I don't think we did. No. I think Ice Pack I think is going to play another outdoor game.
Yeah, down in Charlotte. That's true.
Yeah,
good call. Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, I saw that tweet from Alabama. I don't think Ice Pack. I didn't see it from Ice Pack. I was like, what?
And then I don't know if you know, but Spitting Chicklets picked it up. The Barstool hockey account, they picked that up. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You would have thought maybe they would have done a joint announcement or something, but sometimes sometimes those things happen when teams release schedules, and you can kind of put things together. All right. Well, Mr. Carson, I will let you take us home if you want to plug us and then sign us off. So go for it, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, be sure to leave them in the comments section.
We don't want the concerns. We only want positive.
Yes, we only want the
concerns to Leighton.
We want
exactly.
We would want very positive stuff if we were going 12-0. I don't think we would be getting any negatives.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for us here with Bag Nation. We'll see you next week, and as always, go Pack.
Go Pack.